I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. So we are now turning to Lamentations. And as you can see, I am outside. There's a nice gentle breeze rustling the leaves around here, so you may hear some ambiance in the background. Lamentations is a book of poetry. And like all the other books of poetry in general, I read the chapter in its entirety, then I talk about it. So chapter 1. Jeremiah laments the miserable estate of Jerusalem. Jerusalem herself complains of her deep sorrow. How doth the city sit solitary, that was full of people? How is she become as a widow, she that was great among the nations, and princess among the provinces? How is she become tributary? She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers she hath none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies. Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. The ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feasts. All her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. Her adversaries are the chief. Her enemies prosper, for the Lord hath afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion all her beauty is departed. Her princes have become like harts that find no pasture, and they are gone without strength before the pursuer. Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction and of her miseries all her pleasant things that she had in the days of old, when her people fell into the land of the enemy, and none did help her. The adversaries saw her, and did mock at her Sabbaths. Jerusalem hath grievously sinned, therefore she is removed. All that honored her despise her, because they have seen her nakedness. Yea, she sigheth, and turneth backwards. Her filthiness is in her skirts. She remembereth not her last end, therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter. O Lord, behold my affliction, for the enemy hath magnified himself. The adversary hath spread out his hand upon all her pleasant things, for she hath seen that the heathen entered into her sanctuary, whom thou didst command that they should not enter into thy congregation. All her people sigh, they seek bread, they have given their pleasant things for meat to relieve the soul. See, O Lord, and consider, for I am become vile. Is it nothing to you, all ye that pass by? Behold, and see if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me, wherewith the Lord hath afflicted me in the day of his fierce anger. From above hath he sent fire into my bones, and it prevaileth against them. He hath spread a net for my feet. He hath turned me back. He hath made me desolate and faint all the day. The yoke of my transgressions is bound by his hand. They are wreathed and come up upon my neck. He hath made my strength to fall. The Lord hath delivered me into their hands, from whom I am not able to rise up. The Lord hath trodden under foot all my mighty men in the midst of me. He hath called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Lord hath trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, as in the winepress. For these things I weep. Mine eye runneth down with water, because the Comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me. My children are desolate, because the enemy prevailed. Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. The Lord hath commanded concerning Jacob that his adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is as a menstruous woman among them. The Lord is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandment. Hear, I pray you, all people, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men are gone into captivity. I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and mine elders gave up the ghost in the city, while they sought their meat to relieve their souls. Behold, O Lord, for I am in distress. My bowels are troubled, my heart is turned within me, for I have grievously rebelled. Abroad the sword bereaveth, at home there is death. They have heard that I sigh, there is none to comfort me. All mine enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. Let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me for all my transgressions. For my sighs are many, and my heart faint. Looking in the footnotes, it doesn't tell us anything. It just has cross-references to other verses, so no explanations there. I do want to say just a few things. It says here, the heart. You know, they become like hearts. That's a deer. That's a young male deer. And when it says her last end, I do want to look at this, Deuteronomy 32:29. And here in verse 9 it says that she remembereth not her last end. And this is referring to, from what I can tell, this is the final judgment, saying Jerusalem went and did all these evil things. They committed all this wickedness because they didn't remember what the final judgment holds. They didn't remember that if they were faithful, they would be blessed. But if they were wicked, if they rebelled, then they would be cursed. And in the end, they would be cast out. They forgot the last end. Now, this is just a pitiful, it's a book of lamentations. This is mourning. It's almost like a funeral dirge. It is interesting. You have the three parts to it. The first half, the first 11 verses, are just a lament, describing the current condition of Jerusalem. It was glorious in the past, and now it is laid waste. People are destroyed, killed, taken captive. The city is burned. There's no food. People are scrimping for a loaf of bread. Then it moves into kind of asking why everybody else is in shock. You know, why are you passing by? Why are you showing no mercy to us? Why are you not taking compassion on us? See our condition, see our pitiful state, and have pity on us. And then the last part is justifying God. Yes, we were destroyed, but it was because God is righteous. He had to. We were in rebellion. We brought this on ourselves. God is just. There's no attempt here to blame God. But I do like the ending there, where it is a call saying, look, we understand that you punished us for our rebellion, our sins. But give us a little comfort in knowing that you will punish our enemies for their sins. Don't let them go unpunished when we have to suffer so much. It's a very interesting dynamic, a very interesting layout for this chapter. Now remember that this is an acrostic, so 22 verses, each verse begins with a succeeding letter of the Hebrew alphabet. But it is just a pitiful lamentation. I'll see you in the next chapter.